This will be interesting, this process. And as we know, the last time the university's gone through an athletics director search in a traditional way was in 97, 98 when they hired Jim Sturt. So it's been a while, and the process of doing that, we haven't done that. So it'll be fun.
President Schultz, how do you reconcile this need to reassure coaches that their agenda is important to you with your concerns about the budget?
Yeah, I think you all have seen that we do have some budget challenges as an institution as a whole, and not just in athletics. And I would like to commend athletics for the great job that they've done over the last several years. We've reduced a $13 million annual operating deficit to, right a little bit below 8.5 million, with a target this upcoming year of somewhere in the $7 million range. And athletics has done a great job of increasing revenues, decreasing expenses. And I think we had some general discussion about this at the all-staff meeting this morning, that several people brought up, that that budget stuff always kind of hangs over our heads. I think one of my expectations from the new athletic director is really we need to continue to be aggressive on the revenue side. I mean, it costs us some amount of money to put out the competitive sports that we have at WSU and compete in the Pac-12. So there is some floor that you got to be at just to be competitive. And so in my discussion with the coaches, that this comes up, but a lot of them are concerned about, are we going to get the right person to come in and provide the support that they continue to need to be successful from an athletic director. So today we heard some things about the budget, but that was not by any means the most significant conversations we had.
In your involvements with the NCAA and K-State, have you gone through any similar processes trying to find staff at this level?
I have. My first hire as president at Kansas State University was John Curry as athletic director, and John was the sort of a senior associate AD at Tennessee, University of Tennessee, and we both were. I was brand new president. He was a brand new athletic director, and so we sort of grew up together through that particular process, and had some similar challenges there with need to really enhance facilities, excellent coaches, but had to grow the revenue side quite a bit. And John recently took the AD job at the University of Tennessee and moved back there after 8 years at K-State. So I have had some experience going out and doing that and going through candidates, and that's why if I look at the opportunities that existed at Kansas State 8 years ago, and I look at the opportunities that we have here today, this is a really great time for an AD to come in here because there's not, you got to change this, or you got rid of this coach, or those kind of things. They can come in here, get to know the Coug Nation, get to know our alumni, go out across the state, and really spend the time getting in there without having to feel that there's something they got to do immediately. And that's really important for us moving forward.
Do you think this could be a situation where you present multiple candidates and hold forums like some schools have done in the past, or is this going to be a search process that determines a final candidate?
It's going to be a search process that we will introduce a final candidate who will be our next athletic director to the community. If we have desire to attract any sitting athletic director, they are not going to want to have to go through a process where it's public, they're on campus, they're all that kind of stuff. Because guess what? They got to go back home and have their donors call them up and say, are you committed to our place or not? So we need to put ourselves in a position to be able to talk to sitting athletic directors about the great opportunities here. And that means that to get that kind of a pool, you've got to give up a little bit of that ability to come onto campus. So no, it'll be a closed search. It'll be very similar to the presidential search, where we announce, here's our next athletic director, and allow them to meet the community. That's the way that'll go.
Any additional questions in the room before we go to the telephone?
By all accounts, Bill, when he was brought on board, was a home run. With all the things that you just mentioned about where this institution is athletically, do you feel like you can hit another home run, or even now, for lack of a better word, hit a grand slam with the stars being alignment at Washington State?
I think the pieces are all in place for us to have another pretty spectacular hire. We've hired 4 VP level folks over the last 6 months. Mary Jo Gonzalez is our new VP for Student Life, who's a Coug, and I can run through the list. Our latest one was Lisa Calvert, our new CEO of the foundation, who starts this week. Lisa ran the foundation at Texas Tech, ran the foundation at Purdue. I mean, just a stellar candidate. And guess what? All those VPs, as we hired them, said, I want to be in Pullman. I want to be part of Washington State University. I want to be part of the drive to 25 and keeping us moving forward. I think we're going to be amazed at the number of people that are interested in being our AD here. And I certainly hope that after a year or two, you pull me aside and say, wow, Kirk, what a star. That person is just what Washington State needed, and it's amazing to see where we are now.
Question for President Schultz and Mr. Johnson. What do you take from some of the backlash from the Cougar fans that happened on Sunday? Do you look at it as just them being very passionate, and what do you think about that?
So it's always easier to answer this like 48 hours later, right? I think I take it as passion and people caring a lot about the institution, and also, you know, there was some times where maybe we weren't as competitive on the field, our facilities weren't in great shape, we didn't have coaches necessarily everybody can be proud of, and so folks see that progress, and the last thing they want to do is say, hey, I don't want to go back to the way we were some period of time before. So I will take the passion, which sometimes can be pretty direct and pretty critical, over, can you imagine if this occurred and nobody cared? You know, at that point I'd say we don't have passionate fans. So while it can be a little rough on your family sometimes reading that stuff, at the same time, at the end of the day, I'll take passionate fans who want us to be really good, and I'm happy to be held accountable as president for folks to say, you want to be in charge, you want to be our president, here's your opportunity, show us what you can do. I think that's all part of these jobs today, so I'll take it every single time. In the immediate time it happens, maybe not so much, but I'm so glad we got people that care about Washington State and WSU athletics.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tom.
I echo what the president says, and our fan base is passionate. From their automobiles and their license plates to come into games and where we go around the country and what you hear when you walk through the airport and go Cougs, whether in New York or Amsterdam. Very passionate. And they're passionate because I think Washington State stands for doing things the right way and caring about our kids and our student athletes and our student experience. Our facilities are in the middle of campus. Those students grow up and they never leave that family. They still think of their great times at Washington State because of Pullman and what it stands for. Also, our fans are very passionate about that we have one of the best student athlete experiences in the country. That is first and foremost what we're in this about. We're about kids and how do we give them opportunities, whether it's our nutrition program we develop, whether it's facilities, whether it's academic spaces, support staff, getting the best and brightest coaches. And they're passionate about that and they care about that. And actually, I don't see it very much as backlash at all. I think hey, people care. And like the president said, if they don't care, then that's really a problem. And the texts and phone calls I got, geez, that's really too bad. Okay, here we go again, let's go get one. And that's, hey, let's move it forward. Let's not lose the momentum. That's what I'm hearing from those who were involved in the programs, fans, friends, et cetera, and our student athletes and staff.
What about to those that say that there was the reason why he left was because of a growing rift, a divide between upper administration and athletics? Is there any way that you can address that in those people out there that say there were situations that led to him wanting to perhaps pursue another opportunity?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything I can say that is going to change some people's perceptions of that. I would say if Bill had left to take a kind of lateral job where everybody goes, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It looks like he was trying to get the first road out of Pullman. I think that would lend a lot more credibility to that. Nebraska is probably one of the top 580 jobs in the country. They've got a massive budget, and it's got great opportunities and has needed some stable leadership as an AD for a long time. So